many people, 4.5 million Americans, will be unemployed for 6 months or more. According to a new analysis, many Americans have returned to their jobs or found new ones after the coronavirus pandemic has raised the economy. But, according to a new analysis, millions of unemployed can remain. In an article by the National Bureau of Economic Research, about 4.5 million unemployed Americans may not be able to find work for more than 6 months, while about 2 million people will need more than a year to get a job again. The findings underscore the long-term reach of pandemic and the lockdowns that were enacted to prevent further spread. It also offers a sobering outlook for the many newly jobless Americans who are filing for unemployment insurance every week. It's lower than the peak of what was in the Great Recession, but it's close to it, said Gabriel Chodorow-Reich, an associate professor of economics at Harvard. 2 million people unemployed for more than 46 weeks. It's a lot of people. Before the start of the pandemic, less than 2% of the labor force was in long-term unemployment. The current pandemic will likely increase this to 3%, compared with 4.5% of the labor force in the Great Recession, according to Chodorow-Reich. A lot of labor market churn underlying that forecast. The projection is based on a baseline scenario where the unemployment rate falls to around 9.5% at the end of 2020 and then decreases to 7% in 2021. That is still considered a rapid recovery by historic standards, according to Chodorow-Reich. But while the unemployment rate is recovering, as more workers get their jobs back, the number of weekly unemployment insurance claims remain at elevated levels, which could impact long-term unemployment. What we find is that there's a lot of labor market churn underlying that forecast, Chodorow-Reich said. What that means is that even as the unemployment rate is declining, there's also a lot of people who are still being laid off. The unemployment rate decreased from 14.7% in April to 11.1%, but the number of people filing for unemployment insurance has steadily remained between 2 and 1 million per week for the last 8 weeks. Last week, there were 1.4 million filings for unemployment insurance last week, the first increase since March. Most of the idea, comment, information, and criticism containing in these videos have been created by Daily News Report. Before making any important investment decision, use the information contained in these videos as a starting point for conducting your own research. If you make any investment or legal decision, it is advised to consult an expert before making this decision.